Yo guys, what is up? Mox on a Borderlands 4 video, and today we're going to be going over what the top 5 shotguns in Borderlands 4 are. Now, I'm going to be making this for all of the types of weapons, SMGs, snipers, and so let me know which kind of video you'd like to see next. However, today we're talking about shotguns. Shotguns are incredibly powerful in Borderlands 4, and in this video we're going to be going over, in my opinion, the top 5, as well as where to farm these weapons. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with an honorable mention, and that is the purple Jacobs Dullahan shotguns. These can roll with the spread launcher underbarrel. These do the highest single amount of damage in the game. They will one-shot most things for you. And while the actual shotgun that comes with them isn't great, I still highly recommend you keep an eye out for them. There's no specific place to dedicated farm purple Jacob shotguns, but these spread launchers can even come on some of the shotguns that we're going to be covering in this list. Even if it's a legendary Jacob shotgun, they still roll with the spread launcher part. So just keep an eye out for it because it's a low cooldown thing that you can use for massive amounts of damage. So starting out our top 5 list is going to be the Kickballer shotgun. Now this is a Maliwan shotgun. It can come in multiple different elements. Mine happen to roll in fire and shock. And the big kicker, no pun intended, is that this gun does ridiculous things if you can get a Jacobs accessory on it. So if you get a Kickballer shotgun and it rolls with a Jacobs part and you pair that with a Jacobs enhancement for either additional chance for ricochets on non-critical hits or additional ricochets, if you shoot that at an enemy, it just creates infinite chaining explosions. You can try to stop it from killing yourself with using the onion shield and the a blood analyzer, which gives you elemental immunities. Most of the time it doesn't work, but just to give you an idea of what this thing looks like, if we shoot this, it does that. And this will one-shot most bosses in the game, but it'll also one-shot you. It is very, very hard to stay alive from, even with all of the things that you're trying to do to prevent yourself from taking damage. So that is why it's going to be at our number 5 spot. It does ridiculous boss damage, but it also kills you, so it's not something that you can use all that often, and you will go broke using it. But if you're really struggling on boss DPS, it is a very, very solid option. If you want to farm the Kickballer, you need to make sure that you do the Null and Void side quest. This is located right outside the Launchpad faction town. When you do Null and Void, that will lead you to an area that is over in Idolator's Noose, which will then give you another side quest that will lead you to the boss Sludge Maw, which you will farm for the Kickballer. Coming in at our number 4 spot is the Hellwalker. Now, those of you that played Borderlands 3 might recognize this gun. It is returning in Borderlands 4, and it is very strong. I don't think it is quite as strong as the Borderlands 3 version. Most notably, it doesn't come with the signature fire damage. In this game, it drops as non-elemental. However, it still has its signature doom sounds. When you're holding this thing and shooting it, you will get doom sounds. It's really fun to use, really satisfying, and there's some builds that make it crazy. I posted a Harlow build called Infinicrit that works wonders with the Hellwalker on characters like Rafa, for example. We can get basically infinite ammo on it and just dish out a ton of damage. It is good across multiple builds. I like this thing on Amon as well. Big kicker is it does a bunch of damage, but it also sends out a bunch of projectiles. With Jacob's enhancements, you can also make this thing ricochet a ton. So it's a really good mobbing weapon. And with the right build, you can also use it for bossing. To farm the Hellwalker, you're going to want to go to the Old Scrape Ripper Drill site. This is located in Cuspid Climb, Terminus Range. It's dropped from a Mortal Bone Face. This is just below the Reliquary Order Silo. At our number 3 spot is going to be the Linebacker. This is a Torg shotgun that kind of feels like you're calling it an airstrike on enemies. Basically, the way that this gun works is it shoots out these kind of bouncy projectiles that explode, but they explode on every bounce. And so if you shoot this thing at enemies' feet, you can actually get it to hit them multiple times. And it does a ton of damage with the right build. This thing just feels like you're carpet bombing enemies. I use this on Harlow to hard carry me through the campaign. Harlow's got a thing called Neutron Capture that every instance of damage procs basically action skill damage, and this can proc tons of different instances of your action skill damage. It's also super fun on Rava. You can make this thing shoot like infinitely on Rava and just carpet bomb an entire area with damage. Super, super cool. Super, super satisfying. This thing is good for mobbing, but it also is good for bossing. Cannot recommend this weapon enough. I don't know if you can get this to roll with a Jacob's part to ricochet on crits. If you can, that would be insane, because it would lead to even more just like explosion madness. If you want to farm the linebacker, it's dropped from Sky Spanner Cratch, which you go and fight during the campaign. So you should already have this checkpoint. I'm on a level 30 character, so mine's not displaying. I should be showing some footage of exactly where this location is. But right from the Reliquary Order Silo, go up and to the right. It's kind of in between that and the Heritage Opus Safe House. In this mountains, you basically enter through this like split road here and then go in, make your way through, and then you'll find the Sky Spanner. At our number 2 spot is the Rainbow Vomit. Now, this is a Jacob's shotgun. It counts as like if you're playing Vex, holding a kinetic weapon, so you get like all the crazy kinetic damage boosts. But it does multiple different elemental damages. These are random rolled. It's any 3 random elements. So, for example, this one's corrosive, cryo, and radiation. This one that I've got is incendiary, radiation, and shock. And this weapon is so cool because, one, it does a bunch of damage, but it also is really great for any sort of elemental build because it's great at proccing dots on enemies. On like Ricochet Rafa, this is really fun. You could use it on Bleed Vex and get a bunch of additional dots on enemies. On Amon, there's not really a character that this isn't fun and cool to use on. The only downside of using the Rainbow Vomit is it's got a drop range, or like the projectiles are very slow and they have a little bit of a fall off or a drop, so you need to aim it above enemies' heads sometimes or just get really close. However, the damage that this thing puts out is really nuts. Also, side note, if you need to farm Vialictor, these projectiles get actually stuck in Vialictor so that you can shoot Vialictor and they'll just ricochet around in him infinitely, basically killing him very quickly. However, just like even without that setup, it's just a really fun gun all around. If you want to farm the Rainbow Vomit, it is actually the dedicated drop of this week's wildcard mission. So every time you do this weekly wildcard, you will get a guaranteed Rainbow Vomit. However, if you are watching this video past that or don't want to farm that, I don't have the quest showing up right now, but in Carcadia, there is a quest called the Enter the Electi, which you need to do part 1 of, part 2, and then the side quest called the Council Divided, and then do the side quest a Traitor Within, and then do the side quest a Mole's Gambit. These will all just chain together, which will then lead you to the named boss, Leader Wilhelm, who you can kill for the Rainbow Vomit. And finally, coming in at our number 1 spot is the Hot Slugger Shotgun. I think this is by far and away the best shotgun in the game, and I actually don't think it's all that close. This thing is just a one-shot machine. It is a slug shotgun, meaning that it fires 1 pellet, but that 1 pellet does a ton of base damage, and it's got the Blazing Barrel legendary perk that on kill you get 30% increased damage for 10 seconds for a maximum of 3 stacks. So it's already a really high damage gun, and then it just stacks up even more damage. This thing is ridiculous on like Ricochet Rafa, Bleed Vex. It's good on Harlow. On Amon, it's fantastic. It's just like honestly a best in slot weapon for so many builds. It hits so hard, and it gets even crazier if you pair it with the specialization 1 shot 1 kill, which your excess damage will be stored and added to your next gunshot. Because it's a single projectile, it's very easy to overkill enemies, and then all of that overkill damage is added to your next shot, which will just chain 1 shots over and over and over again. Genuinely one of the most ridiculous guns currently in the game. In order to farm for the Hot Slugger Shotgun, you need to go to the Craven Nook Order Bunker. If you have the Bones of Sanctuary unlocked, you could just follow the path up from there, which will then lead you to the Callous Harbinger of Annihilating Death. Guys, that is going to do it for our top 5 best shotguns in Borderlands 4. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which weapon class you'd like to see next, and I will catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.